2022, Huy Quan's comeback story was the talk of the town. As a child actor, he endeared himself to audiences with back-to-back roles in Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom, 1984, and The Goonies, 1985, but by the early 2000s, he left acting behind for 2 decades, only to return to prominence in storybook fashion thanks to his Oscar-winning role as Waymond Wang in the Daniels' Everything Everywhere All at Once. During the lead-up to his Oscar win, Quan's journey was received with much fanfare, and he shared his account as often as he could throughout awards season. However, in 2023, Quan experienced the other end of the spectrum, as his next high-profile job as Ouroboros, aka Obi, on Loki Season 2 coincided with the SAG-AFTRA strike that lasted nearly 4 months. So Quan has been anxiously awaiting the chance to discuss his dream of joining the Marvel Cinematic Universe, having met now Marvel boss Kevin Feige 23 years earlier when they both worked on X-Men 2000. I didn't know that he was going to have this incredible success, but I knew right there that he was just so smart, Quan tells The Hollywood Reporter. He was so passionate about the Marvel Universe, and he was like a walking encyclopedia. You can ask him anything you want. He's a nerd, you know? At a time when Everything Everywhere had only been released in 2 markets, Feige, after a recommendation from casting director Sarah Finn, called Quan to offer him the TVA engineer role that would eventually become a fan-favorite character. Quan, understandably, became quite emotional when he got the call he'd been dreaming of since he decided to return to acting. I was driving at that time and I said, "Kevin, can you please give me a few seconds?" My eyes started welling up, and I couldn't see the road while I was driving, so I had to pull over and park my car. And then I said, "Kevin, please continue," Quan recalls. Quan connected with his Loki character in a number of ways, even viewing him as a grown-up extension of his Goonies character, Data, but he also relates to Tom Hiddleston's title character, as both have wanted to be a part of a community that they haven't always had. "Even though I'm American, I don't look American, and all my life, I've felt like an outsider, like Loki," Quan says. And it was not until recently, of course, where I finally felt like I belonged to this wonderful big family, which is Hollywood. Hollywood has welcomed me back with wide open arms in the biggest way possible by giving me an Oscar. As Quan's story became more and more celebrated last year, he couldn't help but wonder if he'd get the chance to come film a quick, last-minute cameo as Short Round in Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny, Harrison Ford's last go-round as the storied archaeologist and adventurer. "Yeah, I hope that I'd maybe get that call," Quan says. "But I saw it, and it's a great movie. I love the Indiana Jones franchise a lot, and who knows, if there's ever an opportunity to revisit that character, it'd be wonderful. I'd love that a lot." Below, during a recent spoiler conversation with THR, Quan also discusses his most difficult scene in Loki's Season 2 premiere, as he had to flip a TVA handbook behind his head so that Hiddleston could catch it during a walk-and-talk scene. "Well, as of March of last year, you basically did press for a year straight about Everything Everywhere All at Once, discussing your comeback role and incredible life story. It then culminated in Oscar glory. But 4 months ago, in the lead-up to another standout role, you suddenly couldn't talk about it or share your enthusiasm for it until now. So was it jarring to go from one extreme to the other? It's funny, I thought about this. When I got the movie of a lifetime, Everything Everywhere All at Once, it changed my life. I did that, and with 1 day more to go, the entire world shuts down. And then I won an Oscar. My dream came true, and then the entirety of Hollywood shuts down." Laughs. I thought, oh my God, what's going on here? And knowing that we had this wonderful show coming out and not being able to talk about it, I just wanted to celebrate it. I wanted to celebrate the show because I love it so much. I'm so proud of it. So many people behind the camera worked so hard, and they're so passionate about this character and the show. So we wanted to celebrate it the way it should be celebrated, and I'm so happy that we get to do this now. So the strike is over. It's great. Were there any silver linings to the strike? Did you get a chance to finish any personal projects you've been putting off because you've been so busy the last couple years? Well, the last year has been such a whirlwind with Everything Everywhere and the entire awards season, so I finally had the time to reflect on what happened and process everything that went on. During all of that, a lot of things became a blur, and I'm so happy that I took a lot of pictures.